All right. Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Nathan, your host with the Raw Faith Podcast. This is gonna be a discussion, kind of reaction, and just a whole discussion episode. And I'm here with your guest,
Martin.
Yep, Martin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So without further ado, here we go. We're gonna get it going. We're in a little different environment today. Where if you can hear like probably airplanes in the sky or the wind. But we're in a different area today because we just decided to go just somewhere else. Same content, same stuff for you guys to enjoy and to just think about. And today we're gonna be doing more discussions on like different topics, especially what's going on in the world today. Especially like just what's going on in news today. This is based in California, so we're doing mostly the news of California, but also other news throughout the world. But without further ado, here we go. All right, so
All right, let's go. Let's get it started.
yeah, it's already recording the whole screen. All right. Yeah, there's obviously, if you can see, it's probably like an apartment complex in a way in the back. Got some good backdrop, and we're just going with the flow, guys. Hope you guys can hear us right. So the first video we're gonna be watching today, it's gonna be pre-screen recorded at the same time. So it's gonna be LA District Attorney announcing new initiative against retail theft. Have you heard about this before?
No.
Yeah.
I'm about to watch it right
It says it was KTLA. Hold on, there it is.
This morning, LA County District Attorney Nathan Hochman joined law enforcement officials to announce a crackdown on retail theft. Hochman says the new initiative will protect local businesses. KTLA 5's Kimberly Chang live now in Pico Robertson with all the details. Kimberly.
Hi, yes, the DA said they're sending a message to criminals that they're cracking down. He was here along with city council members and members of law enforcement in front of this 7-Eleven store right behind me. And the DA put this yellow warning sticker right on the window to send a message. This 7-Eleven, by the way, has been the victim of 2 destructive smash and grab robberies and more than a dozen other thefts. The DA said, in fact, one individual would come in and take what he wanted without paying multiple times. And the DA said that suspect has been arrested and charged with felonies for thefts. Now take a look at this video. You may remember people riding up on bicycles and bikes, and they just stole things and basically vandalized this 7-Eleven. The franchisee owner tells me they have a theft, quote, almost every day. Now today the DA talked about a coalition with multiple agencies to combat, investigate, and prosecute those involved in serial and organized retail theft. You may already know Proposition 36, which increases criminal penalties for certain drug and theft offenses, passed in November. Under 36, those convicted of theft 3 times, that third offense is a felony. The DA said Prop 36 is working and has resulted in more felony arrests. Since December 18th, he said there's been more than 1,000 Prop 36 felony arrests for thieves alone. Here's the DA at this morning's news conference. Nathan Hochman, take a listen.
That if you want to go ahead and engage in theft in Los Angeles County, you will be held accountable. You will be arrested. You will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
We've had to spend thousands of dollars on protection, money that could have gone towards.
So in watching this, we can kind of relate to like how the world is. Like, have you ever been to downtown LA? Like, have you ever could speak for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Can you ever speak for yourself? Like instances in downtown LA where you see like there's so much homeless going on, there's so much crime, and like it looks like cops don't care what the hell's going on.
I mean, you could see it just for yourself. If you go right now, go to downtown LA, you will see somebody just, a homeless person or anybody just walking anywhere, just stealing. You see them running out the building and everything. You see that daily.
And like, what do you like? And that's the thing about corrupt politicians. They have all this money, but like we're in a deficit of 800 million. They don't know where it went, or it was misused funds, but despite the fact we're in a deficit and we have the highest GDP in any other state in the United States of America, and but we also have the highest rate of homelessness.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel about that? Like the homeless people?
I feel like the city needs to do better. in actually doing something about the homelessness, because they're just everywhere, like in MacArthur Park.
Yeah, you can put the little mic a little bit low, close to you. And also, guys, I'm standing up because there's no other seat to stand on right now. So, you know, but still want to give you guys content. I know we've been missing out on the YouTube channel, so we're just getting back on track. And so, what do you think is the solution, like in your point of view, for homelessness? Like, what is the solution for that in California?
I think the city, Gavin Newsom, should invest in a program for the homelessness, so they can actually keep them. That will keep them out of the streets. And
how will they do that? Like, keep them out the streets?
if he actually uses the federal funding he was getting, he could actually do something with that and actually provide for the homelessness.
What do you mean, actually? Put the mic a little closer because there's like airplanes going through. What? Yeah, it's green. Good. And then, so when you say like, well, okay, so let's backtrack back to Gavin Newsom appropriating what funds to do what to help the homeless people.
Make a program, put money into a program.
There's already programs for homeless people. Like, what type of program are you talking about?
He needs to invest more into rehabs that will actually help them, instead of just keeping them, make them get jobs, help them get jobs, instead of just keeping them in a rehab facility, just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah, no, I completely understand, and you know, that's a good actually point, because the Christian-based rehabs, the success rate that they have, actually, they
need to be more like that. If they put in the work, instead of just sitting there fiending.
Hold on, let me take this off. Can you just hold this for me, man? Or put it away? Thanks. I should have put success rate. So I'm looking up right now the statistics on that specifically point of view right now. Hold on. Okay, so we're gonna go right here to Google, and it says okay, it says here that faith-based rehabs rely on the Bible and the power of God to help people get rid of addiction and stay sober, according to Google. And it says statistics show that an incredible 30% of people that go through faith or Bible-based treatment have long-term success. Nearly 90% of studies find that faith reduces alcohol abuse risk, and 84% of studies show faith reduces drug abuse risk. In the United States, 73% of addiction treatment programs include a spiritual-based element, emphasizing reliance on God or a higher power to sober. All right. So, in studies, it has more than a 90% success rate for people with drug abuse. At drug abuse risk, and also for people that have alcohol abuse. So what do you think about that?
I think that's really saying something about religion and the power that it has. If you believe in Christianity, you believe in God, I think anybody has the power within themselves to change.
And I just want to point out, being Christian, like, I'm just letting you know, like, it's non-denominational. The definition of being Christian is those who follow Christ, and it was never meant to be a religion. And so what I personally believe is that as a Christian, is religion is just a way for groups to control you or control groups of people. and institutions that are made to control groups of people. I believe that if Christ was living to this day, he would not be happy about what's going on with religion, especially like Vatican and other stuff. But this is my perspective on things. You can look up for yourself and see, in a Christian perspective, when you see good and evil, light and dark, God and Satan, good and bad, you understand what I'm saying. If you don't want to do your research and you just want to have your opinion, that's perfectly fine. This is why this podcast is very open to discussion. So going back to it, do you feel like it plays a big role compared to the more agnostic type, non-God based, government based, state based, like rehabs, and they have a lower success rate?
I think that's due to the problem because they just sit there inside the rehabs.
Yeah, they are medicated, mostly medicated.
You know, they're taking them off the streets doing drugs, but yet when they're in their facility, they're doping them up with more drugs.
Yeah.
You know, so what's the difference?
You gotta speak a little bit more like to the mic. But yeah, hold on, let me get a rain check real quick. All right, awesome. So let's just switch seats for this one, yeah?
What was that?
Let's switch seats for this one. Well, actually, yeah. Okay, so the next thing that we wanted to get going is because I'm a Dragon Ball fan, and my Martin here is a Dragon Ball fan. Are you not?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so who would win in a squabble, in a fight? Dragon Ball Z version Broly, not Dragon Ball Super, what we currently have, or Dragon Ball Z Broly versus Janemba, Super Janemba.
I mean,
in a one-on-one.
Janemba was able to.
And also, you guys down. Also, you guys down below, comment below. Who do you think will win in a fight between those two, Super Dragon Ball Z Broly or Super Janemba?
Janemba was able to squabble Super Saiyan 3.
Yup.
But Broly was already OP. He was already generating more power than he could handle.
But didn't Goku defeat him using by absorbing the power or the essence and power of Gohan, Piccolo, Vegeta? And
he had
somebody else. I feel like there was
Trunks.
Trunks. There you go.
He was able to gain the power of 5 other beings.
And would you say like the ability that he gained from it was a Super Saiyan 2? Was he at Super Saiyan 2 level, or was he at Super Saiyan 1? Or
nah, he probably for a moment.
From your knowledge,
for a moment, he probably was at the same level as Broly.
Okay, but then why did he win the fight by punching?
Because Akira Toriyama himself said it.
Through the
Akira Toriyama himself said it. Rest in peace to Akira. But he said it himself. He said himself that if they were able to train the Super Saiyan 1 transformation, it would be the most powerful transformation.
But going back to the Broly, like Dragon Ball Z, so if he was in a 1v1 fight versus Super Janemba that took on Vegeta, and wait, this was Vegeta post Majin, right? So he was Super Saiyan 2. So it was Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta.
No, wait.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
it was post Majin. So he was Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, and also he defeated Goku Super Saiyan 3.
I think Broly was still.
I think Janemba.
I think Broly.
I mean, Goku wasn't able to sense him. At Super Saiyan 3 level, he wasn't able to sense him when he was phasing through. He wasn't able to sense his ki.
Yeah, but
he would pop up behind him and stuff like that and attack.
Catch it on himself. So would have Goku.
What do you mean by that?
When they were fighting for a second, and Vegeta like caught it when he was gonna teleport, he just shot through it. He shot through this thing. He caught it.
You're talking about Janemba, Super Janemba?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then take it. And then so you believe that Broly would win?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And I believe the opposite. just because of the feats of Super Janemba. What it took the fusion Super Saiyan of Gogeta to defeat Super Janemba.
Well, actually, then when you put it like that, then yeah, you're right. So it's too confused, but the legendary Super Saiyan form just my boy.
I mean, Goku wasn't even Super Saiyan 2 when he defeated Broly. He wasn't even Super Saiyan 2.
He adapts ASAP. Why I think in the movies when he's growing stronger, he has to release so much energy because if he contains it, he'll fucking explode and die. You know, when he says he's getting stronger, and he has to release so much energy, and then there were massive energy blasts. You seen it?
All right, then we're gonna go number 2 now. So for you, as a fan of Dragon Ball, what is your current dream fight to see in Dragon Ball Super? Current manga, current canon.
Jiren fighting Goku and Vegeta in their ego and Ultra form. I think Jiren could take it. I think Jiren could mop them up.
I mean, I'm gonna just point this out there, but we're not gonna go in depth. But personally, my belief, I think Black Frieza would destroy Jiren.
No, he won't. Never.
At this point,
Jiren humiliated him in the Tournament of Power. Easy.
Black Frieza defeated full powered mastered Ultra UI. I mean, full power UI Goku and full power Ego Vegeta in one blow each, and deformed them and hurt them. It wasn't like they were deformed like fuck. No, they were hurting on the ground, bleeding.
Jiren was mopping up everybody, holding back like more than 80% of his power.
Okay, I think Black Frieza would win against Jiren.
It still took. They had to jump Jiren to win at all times. At all times, like if it was a one-on-one, he mopped them up.
Jiren did put in work.
It took more than one person to take out Jiren.
Yes, it did. Correct. But you don't see the feats of Black Frieza.
And you don't see the feats of Jiren.
No, I do see the feats of Jiren, but right now what's happening and what been happening in the manga,
and what do you
Black
think
Frieza,
and what do you think Jiren is doing right now?
And they're more powerful than they were
because they
Goku and
they keep mentioning Jiren. If you keep up with the movies, they always make a reference to Jiren. They always bring him up. He's gonna come back soon.
All right.
And he's gonna be the most powerful as he's ever been.
Okay.
He's gonna make Black Frieza look like Yamcha.
I mean, technically,
he mastered his power, bro.
Technically,
Vegeta is currently trying to be like Jiren.
Technically, what's his name? I forgot from the because I read it a while. It's been a while since I read the manga. Because I finish it right when I see it, but the one that got defeated by Frieza in perfect form before he defeated
Gas.
Goku. Gas. There you go. So Gas, since he wished to be the strongest in the universe, and he was at the time when they already had their Zenkai boost, and he got that on top. Do you believe he was at the level, or if not stronger than Jiren?
He was probably at the level of Jiren.
Okay. Actually, you said at the level of Jiren. So then, Frieza came in, not Black Frieza, but as Frieza perfect form, and Frieza one-shotted Gas.
I think Jiren could have done that easy too.
But you said they had to both same. All right, guys, we're back. So we're going back to Black Frieza. So Black Frieza would just wipe the floor with Jiren.
No.
Just wipe the floor.
Jiren will.
He's a prodigy, first of all. He's a prodigy.
Is Jiren.
Frieza's a prodigy.
Look at Jiren.
He never trained, and when he trained, in a month or days, he defeated Goku, Super Saiyan Blue level at the time.
When?
The only reason why he got defeated one Resurrection F is because when he got defeated, he gassed out. He didn't train. He just went straight for it. But he was already powerful, more powerful than them.
Yeah,
the Golden Frieza form was more powerful.
So if he was just too eager. He got too cocky, and that was his downfall. It don't matter.
Okay. And then
And not really, because Goku really did mop him up, because he found out his weakness, and then he just played it on until he gassed out. So he still took all his beating and everything.
all right, for the end of this conversation of that, we just got to our sides, but the end of conversation of Dragon Ball is what is your dream fight that is non-Saiyans? Me personally, let's bring back Piccolo versus Android 17. Back for that 1v1, especially now that Piccolo has Orange Piccolo now, and Android 17's after the Tournament of Power. Love to see that fade. Love to see that. You?
I think the rematch that should happen.
Non-Saiyans.
Non-Saiyans?
Yeah. Also includes like Cell, that are part Saiyan, Broly, Trunks and Gohan and stuff like that.
I think.
Oh, you're gonna pass that?
Non-Saiyan.
Dream fight.
That's a good one. I don't know. I think I agree with the Piccolo and 17. That's the only one.
The Piccolo and 17, the rematch.
That's gonna be a good one.
Anything else like maybe Krillin, Tien?
No.
I'm sure.
Krillin's the strongest Earthling.
I mean,
He's the strongest Earthling on Earth.
Yajirobe, Boo, Majin Buu.
Piccolo versus Majin Buu. That'll be a good one.
Nah, he'll just get absorbed. I feel like he'll just get absorbed because he will defeat him, and then Majin was like, "I'm gonna
Orange Piccolo."
Oh, you can even say the gods, Beerus.
No, but I'm talking about Orange Piccolo versus Buu when he trained before the Tournament of Power. You know how he was skinny and he was buffed up.
All right, so we got in that. All right, guys, we're gonna take a little cut and a little break right now. We're gonna get back to you and start a new topic on the way. Hey guys, this is Nathan with the RawFaithPodcast, your host and your co-host
Martin.
Yeah, sorry about that. We kind of got cut off. The memory ran out. So getting it back up again. We're going to start off from the point of view again when I was talking about the homelessness. So let's get back to the originality of it, that it says here from Fox Business, YouTube, that since 2019, $24 billion has been spent in California to spend on the homelessness problem or the homelessness crisis. And they're saying, well, what do you think about that?
The homelessness crisis. I think they need to do better. That's all I gotta say. I think they don't care.
And then so let me just continue this real quick.
Joining us now, Chad Bianco, Riverside County, California Sheriff and California gubernatorial candidate. Gavin Newsom, Sheriff, has no shame that he would stand up there now and talk about eradicating homelessness when he has done everything in his power to increase the homeless population.
That's exactly right. He has spent 20 years making sure that we do have a homeless.
So continuing back at that point, so what they're stating is they're backtracking because they're saying that if people don't know, Gavin Newsom has his own podcast now. There's been allegations and evidence with allegations that he's going to end up running for presidency and his next term as not as governor, but running for election as presidency after Trump. So he's trying to get more of a liking. He had with his own podcast, he invited Chris Kirk, and Chris Kirk was with him. And Chris Kirk asked him if he's pro or for women playing in men's sports and vice versa, and he said no, which was backtracking what he's been saying for the past years as governor of California and promoting and was pushing for. And what are your thoughts on that?
I think he's two-faced. How is he gonna backtrack on himself? I'm being for real.
I respect it. Just like you just dove right into it. Like, go on.
I think he's being two-faced. You know, like he's just only doing it for his own benefit, his own beneficial gain. You know, because he
wants to be president. And do you think he will succeed in becoming president of the United States?
He might, only for the simple fact because most people do agree for in his beliefs. So he might be one of the top candidates. Maybe if there's not somebody better than that can go
100%
above
can
him.
understand that. 100% can understand that. And do you feel like the homeless population, like if you were governor of California, what would you do to help and eradicate the homeless problem safely and securely for people? If you were governor of California.
I'd make a building just for them.
No, go on. Go on. Hey, you're not governor. We're just hypothesizing here, just asking questions. What would you do?
I'd make a building in the outskirts somewhere where they won't bother nobody.
Okay.
To keep them in the building facilitated. Just live in there in big groups, 4 or 5 stories. Put a couple of bathrooms, one window each wall. Just let them camp up there, and that's it. Let them all maintain there.
Yeah.
Instead
Awesome, man.
that way they don't have to be in the public side.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. Yeah. All right. Okay. Interesting. And do you believe that they're feral? Like, I know homeless people personally, and we met one too, and they're very like, even if you give them the help, you're like, hey, you know what? Here's everything. Here's a voucher. Here's a hotel. It's everything. A shelter, a food, EBT, everything. They still say no. What do you say to those type of homeless people?
I guess it's their ego. They could do anything on their own, being on the streets, getting their drugs, high off dope. Maybe they're on the come down.
I'm only laughing because that's extremely like that's your perspective, and that's good, man. My perspective is the same because we all got to be realistic. Yes, I'm a Christian. Yes, I have faith in Christ, but I have faith in Christ, and the thing is, I understand things now that I'm seeing the light. But at the same time, I also know reality of things, what I can touch, materialistic. You know, there are homeless people. I've been there myself. I've rode in anyone that rides public transportation in LA or downtown LA knows exactly what I'm talking about. There is rampant homelessness and issues with them, mental illness. No one's helping, and one of the major issues before I answer the question, I do want to check real quick. Is what do you think of the bystander effect, where, for example, a homeless person is in a bus and you're in a bus with other people and everyone acts like they don't know what's like, they just act like he doesn't exist, or they don't know what's going on, and they just mind their business, and a homeless person is harassing a female, harassing somebody, starting a fight, causing a disturbance. What do you think about that? And they don't do anything, or like they're doing their drugs on the platform, in the bus, in the train, and people are not doing anything or saying anything about it.
Because it's like you said, then this is just a bystander effect. Everybody thinks because there's just a big group of people.
Yeah.
Everybody's thinking this is the same thing at that point. Everybody's thinking like somebody else is gonna go in and do it. Instead of just taking initiative and doing it, everybody in their brain is telling them, oh, someone else is gonna get up and do it. Like someone else got it. Like I just gotta sit here and someone else is gonna do it. That's the bystander effect.
And what do you feel about it? You think that's good or bad? Or
I think that's bad because if you're in a big group of people, that's less of a chance of somebody helping you. Like if somebody's getting harassed,
yeah,
and you're in a big group of people, it's gonna be less likely for them to do something.
You haven't took one.
But if you're just one by yourself, you're more likely to do something because there's nobody watching. It's just you, him, and the guy or the abuser. It's just one-on-one. Like you're more likely to do something.
Yeah.
Than being in a big group of people.
Yeah.
Because then you're just gonna assume, oh, someone else is gonna call the cops. Like I don't gotta do nothing because someone else is gonna do it.
You think so? Okay. Interesting concept. Yeah. I believe it's wrong. I feel like people should be able to trust society when we live in a balanced society, that people love thy neighbor and understand and respect their children, treat everyone the way that they want to be treated, and that type of society, 100%, that bystander effect cannot exist. But when it does exist, it's just bad. It's bad. You can't even trust your own child being outside in the world, even if they're with their friends,
Yeah.
because their friends might run away, and then they're gonna have to face the issue themselves.
It's gonna be the bystander effect all over again.
So let's just continue on with this real quick. Oh yeah, one of the points I wanted to touch at. Here it is.
Problem in this state is extortion, theft, crime, their emotional behavior.
Living in LA, you lived in LA all your life.
Yeah.
You think it's gotten worse or better throughout the years you've lived here?
I think it's gotten worse.
In what ways would you say?
I mean, it's pretty much the same in some places, but worse in most places. People are still stealing. Poverty is still growing.
What do you think the rampantness with gang violence? What do you think about that?
I think it probably dropped a little bit.
You think so?
Yeah.
Even though crime is at an all-time high?
I mean, I haven't been witness really any gang activity recently, lately. You know, just...
Hey guys, we're back from our little short break from the this is the Raw Faith Podcast. Discussion, reaction, and just discussion view. So without further ado, is your host here, Nathan, with your guest Martin, your co-host Martin, and here we back to it. So our next topic is President Biden. So let me just let's get something going in factual. Let's start on a factual basis and let's just continue from there, right?
Okay.
So from MSNBC's, they made a report saying 2 months ago, saying Biden hits #1 spot for most vacation days in office for a president. A new study of former President Biden's schedule has revealed he seemingly took 577 vacation days during his 4 years in office, which would break the record for the most time off by a commander-in-chief by MSNBC.
Damn, he took...
What do you think about that?
I think that's very irresponsible. So instead of doing what he needed to do, he was taking vacation more than half his term. 4 years as a president, and he took over 2 years vacation.
How much
out of those
time is
4
that?
years.
How much time is that? You have a calculator? Take it of that too. But your calculator, you put 365 days, multiply it by 4, and then just subtract 577 days. Do that right now. So you, or unless
577 days.
Subtracted by 365 days times 4.
That's like a year and like 7 months.
Do you think more than half his term?
No, actually, it's like less. It's like a year and 7 months.
So it says about 40% of his term.
Yeah, see? So
no, wait.
Less than half.
It says here, the Republican National Committee published a report detailing that Biden spent 40% of his presidency vacation, breaking the record previously held by George W. Bush, who spent 37% of his term taking days.
So a year and 8 months he spent in vacation.
Yeah. And doesn't that kind of play on like what's going on with all like these laws and stuff that they were promoting the Democratic Party at the time when he was in power? Do you believe he was the orchestrator or he was a puppet?
I think he was more of a puppet. He was just being...
And does this fact like, and it is a fact, they've done the poll, they counted the days, they ran the statistics against his 4-year term, and then you guys can look it for yourself on MSNBC. I'm gonna put the link down below in the description for you guys to look for yourself. And based off this fact, do you believe he was running the whole entire presidency? Because it felt like, at least in the media, that he was there every day doing things.
I don't think he was doing anything. I think he was just being told to do what he was being told to do, and I think he was just at the same time just sending money to all these organizations.
What do you think about We seen it actually. I actually showed you a video. It's actually on. It was on Fox, and I definitely believe it was on CNN because CNN loves the Democratic Party. But you can look it up for yourself. So Biden was on The View recently, and on The View, he discussed why he thought that Kamala Harris, his thoughts on why Kamala Harris didn't succeed in winning as president and being elected as president. He said it was, oh, I'm not surprised, somewhat about, I'm not surprised that America took the sexist route, as in pronouncing that, oh, because she's a female.
I think that's a very.
And you've seen it for yourself, correct?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Okay.
I think that's just a low blow. I think you're just very like you're just reaching at that point, trying to do anything and that's like a desperate attempt to get at Trump. That's like a desperate attempt to get at Trump, to demoralize him or something.
And do you believe that Biden was a good president?
I believe so. He had results, cheap gas. He
sold. They allegedly said that he sold all of our gas, and then we had to start buying it from Venezuela.
Who?
And during the Biden administration.
Oh yeah, because he didn't know how to make deals. He was giving the most.
So was he a good president to you? Was he a good president to you?
Biden, no.
Yeah.
Biden was a terrible president. He didn't know what he was doing. He made a terrorist organization in Afghanistan one of the most richest in the whole world by leaving he let them take all the equipment. That was just negligence. That was pure negligence.
Amen to that, and rest in peace to all the people that lost their lives during that Afghanistan invasion.
Yeah.
When they left all the military equipment behind. But yeah, like yeah. Do you believe when President Trump said that if he was in office, that would have never happened?
What was that?
Do you believe that when President Trump said, if I was president at the time, that would never happen? Like that would have never happened, that tragedy? That happened when we left all the equipment, soldiers died.
If Trump would have been president
at the time, he said that would have never happened.
Yeah, that would never happen.
And you believe that? That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
I do believe that.
You agree? You agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. With Trump as president, he would have never have done. He would have done it. So he would have took all the equipment.
And under President Trump, the border crossing has dropped to an all-time historic low, like lowest it's ever been in the history of the border.
He's just doing his job. You know, he has results. He said what he was going to do. He's not hiding anything. Yeah. Even before he became president, in his campaigns, he was saying it. He's gonna He's gonna do the most massive deportation ever. You know, it's not nothing new. It shouldn't have shocked people.
Yeah.
You know, when he already told you what he was going to do. So he's very transparent in what he's going to do with his plans. He's not hiding it. He's being himself. He's letting the people know. He's informing everybody.
About what?
About the things he does. He warned everybody already about the deportations before he became presidency during his campaign.
And in California, going back to what the original questions that we had and the discussion we had, do you believe that the homeless people can be saved?